Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be picking my February TBR and I'm so excited. This is going to be the first TBR jar video for 2026 and let's get started, okay? So, let's get started. I have my prompts here and my laptop here because I'm shooting on my phone. So I won't be able to use my phone, but whatever, it does not matter. Let me just shuffle the prompts first and okay. All of them fell out.
Two very boring minutes later.
Okay, let's get started. This is my first time using a mic, so I don't know how this is gonna turn out. But let's start, okay? Okay, guys, let's pick the first prompt. And I'm so excited. And before I pick the first prompt, I just want to let you know that on my Fable Bookclub, we are reading My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney. So it is going to be the seventh pick for my TBR jar. Six prompts from this and my Fable Bookclub pick, okay? Which is going to be My Husband's Wife. So if you want to join my Fable Book Club, it's free and it's really fun. So I'll be putting the link in the description if you want to join. So let's get started with picking my February TBR. Yeah, this is a small one. This says released this year. So released in 2026. And I think I know which book I want to pick. Okay. So the book that I want to pick is The Poet Empress by Shen Tao. Let me read you the blurb of that book. I heard Jamie Falk rave about this, so I'm really excited to read this. Okay, so in the waning years after the Azalea dynasty, the emperor is dying, the land consumed by famine, and poetry magic lost to all except the powerful. Wei Yin is desperate. After the fifth death of a sibling with her family and the village on the brink of starvation, she will do anything to save those she loves. Even offer herself as a concubine to the cruel heir of the beautiful and brutal Azalea house. But in a twist of fate, the palace stands on the knife edge of civil war with the Wei trapped in its center at the side of a violent prince. To survive, we must harden her heart, rely on her wit, and become dangerous herself, even if it means becoming a poet in the world where women are forbidden to read, and composing the most powerful spell of all, a ballad of death. Okay, so the blurb is kind of reminding me of A Song to Drown Rivers by Anne Liang, and I loved that book. So the first book on our February TBR is going to be The Poet Empress by Shen Tao, and I'm really excited. Okay, so now let's pick the second prompt. Let me pick it from the bottom, so we don't repeat prompts, and if a prompt is repeated, we'll just skip it, okay? Book with a person on the cover. Okay, this is going to be a hard one, but let's see. Which are some books that I really want to read? Ooh, I know what I'm going to be picking. Okay, so the second book I am going to be picking is Magnolia Parks Into the Dark by Jessa Hastings. I'm currently reading it. It's 1st of February, so it counts, okay? So I won't be able to tell you the plot of this book because it's the fifth book in a series. But I can tell you the plot of the first book, which is Magnolia Parks, just Magnolia Parks. It's really fun, it is really fast paced, but it breaks my heart. The ending of Long Way Home broke my heart. Daisy Hates the Great Undoing broke my heart. So I'm like 100 pages into it. This is like a 700-page book. So I'm really scared to finish it. And I'm so excited to meet Julian Hates again. I won't be able to tell you the plot as I said, but let me tell you the plot of the first book. It's like really toxic, but it's fun, and you just know that this does not happen in real life. It's just a story. You have to take it that way, and if you can, create the mindset like that, then you would enjoy it. But I don't know. People have mixed opinions on this series. I like it. And if I finished Magnolia Parks Into the Dark, I will be like up to date with the series, and I have like so many series I need to complete. So the plot of Magnolia Parks is the main female character, Magnolia, is a girl. Obviously, she's like beautiful, effulgent, self-involved, and mildly neurotic London socialite. He is Britain's most photographed Lotheroy who broke her heart, but Magnolia Parks and BJ Ballantyne are meant to be, and everyone knows it. They are in the stars, just suspended in a strange kind of love that looks like hurting each other a lot of the time. But at the end of the day, every sad endeavor to get over one another, it's still each other they crawl back to. But their dysfunction is catching up to them, pulling at their seams and fraying the world they've built. A world where neither has to ever let the other go completely. As the cracks start to show and the secrets begin to surface, Magnolia and BJ are finally forced to face the formidable question they have been avoiding all their lives. How many loves do you get in a lifetime? I just got just reading the last line. This is like a series that I love. Julian Hates is in my top 15. So, yeah. Okay. So, the second book on our February TBR is going to be Magnolia Parks Into the Dark, and it has a person on the cover. Okay, now let's pick the third prompt. First or last name starts with an S. Okay. We could have picked the poet Empress for this, but we didn't. Um, so we'll just pick something else. S. Okay.
15 minutes later.
I could pick Servant of Earth, but it's an uncompleted series and I don't want to start another series. So I feel like I want to pick a mystery book because I've been in such a mystery thriller mood. So, some authors who are options are like K.L. Slater and Shari Lapina. I've not read any books by both of them, but I watch a booktuber who raves about them. So, let's see. Okay, so one option is Everyone Here Is Lying by Shari Lapina. And the other option is Message Deleted by K.L. Slater. Shari Lapina S, KL Slater S. Okay, so let's pick a book which has the lesser number of pages, and that is Everyone Here Is Lying by Shari Lapina. So that is going to be our third pick for the February TBR. Let me read you the blurb of that book. So, William Wooler is a family man on the surface, but he's been having an affair that ended horribly this afternoon at a motel up the road. So when he returns to his house, devastated and angry to find his difficult 9-year-old daughter, Avery, unexpectedly home from school, William loses his temper. Hours later, Avery's family declares her missing. Suddenly, Stanhope doesn't feel so safe, and William isn't the only one on his street who's hiding a lie. As witnesses come forward with information that may or may not be true, Avery's neighbors become increasingly unhinged. Who took Avery Willer? Nothing will prepare you for the truth. Okay, I'm so excited. So, the third book on our February TBR is going to be Everyone Here Is Lying. Okay, so now let's pick the fourth prompt. Then we only have like two more prompts to pick. Book that I'm intimidated to read. And I know which book I'm going to be picking, okay? So the book that I want to pick is Redeeming Six by Chloe Walsh. It's like, how many pages is it? Fourth book in the Boys of Tommen series. And it is 766 pages, okay? So this is Joey and Aoife's story. I won't be able to tell you about this because, of course, it's the fourth book in the series. But I can tell you the plot of Saving Six if you want. Actually, that would be a spoiler too. I can tell you the plot of the first book, which is Binding 13. That's the first book in the series, and I rated it 5 stars. Like 4.75 stars, but still. So, the plot of Binding 13 is Johnny Kavanagh is the definition of popular. He's an all star rugby player with loads of friends, which means he could be enjoying the many perks of his life. But what people don't know is that he has been dealing with a painful injury that could halt the magnificent trajectory of his career. This means he has no time for distractions or mistakes. Shannon Lynch has been bullied all her life. She's shy and would rather hide herself away to make it through school. But when she arrives at Tommen College for a fresh start, she meets the notorious Johnny Kavanagh on her first day in a not so romantic way. What follows is a complicated friendship that turns into an undeniable chemistry. It seems that Shannon won't be able to hold on to the anonymous status she once hoped for, but maybe that's all right? Question mark. Johnny won't give up on Shannon no matter what it might cost them. Okay. So the fourth book on our February TBR is going to be Redeeming 6. This intimidates me because this book is like really emotional in like dark ways. It deals with many different topics, and yeah, it definitely hurts. I've heard that releasing 10 is so heartbreaking, but I'm not there yet, so I'm kind of okay. But Redeeming 6 does intimidate me, and it is on my 26 books I want to read in 2026. So the fourth book on our February TBR is going to be Redeeming 6. Let's pick the fifth prompt. I don't know if you can hear it. So, YA fantasy or romantasy? So what I'm going to be doing is, I don't know what I want to do. I think I'm going to be putting this prompt back into the jar because I'm just not in the mood for romantasies, and I don't want to force myself to read something I'm not in the mood for. I would rather pick something that someone else chooses for me. Set in London. Okay, so Magnolia Parks is set in London. Let's see which other books are set in London. Oh, oh, oh. I have an option, and it is going to be a reread. So the book that I could reread is Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare, the first book in the Infernal Devices trilogy. That trilogy is my favorite trilogy of all time, and I've been seeing some of my friends on Fable reading it, and reading the Shadowhunter universe. I feel like I could do that. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Let me tell you the plot of Clockwork Angel. You need to read Cassandra Clare books if you have not read them. What are you doing? Are you living under a rock? You need to read them immediately. Actually, we could have picked Clockwork Angel for the previous prompt, which is YA fantasy. This is a YA fantasy. Okay. So, in a time when shadow hunters are barely winning the fight against the forces of the darkness, one battle will change the course of history forever. Welcome to the Infernal Devices trilogy, a stunning and dangerous prequel to the New York Times best-selling Mortal Instruments series. The year is 1878. Tessa Gray descends into London's dark supernatural underworld in search of her missing brother. She soon discovers that her only allies are the demon-slaying shadow hunters, including Will and Jem, the mysterious boys she has met. Soon they find themselves up against the Pandemonium Club, a secret organization of vampires, demons, warlocks, and humans. Equipped with a magical army of unstoppable clockwork creatures, the club is out to rule the British Empire. And only Tessa and her allies can stop them. I'm so excited I get to reread this. I'm so excited. I love all of the characters in this book, and it's phenomenal. So, the fifth book on our February TBR is going to be Clockwork Angel. Okay, let's pick the sixth and final prompt. This is going in a great way, even though I have to read some books that I'm intimidated by, but whatever. A book everyone tells me to read. Okay, let me search my TBR. So, I've seen 2 3 people tell me to read this book, which is Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. It's like a thriller, and I've one of my great friends on Fable, Annie, says she rated it 5 stars and she definitely recommended it to me. So I think I'm gonna pick that book, and let me tell you the plot of that. It's kind of scary. I'm kind of scared just reading the blurb. Okay, so, fresh out of rehab, Mallory Quinn takes a job as a babysitter for Ted and Caroline Maxwell. She is to look after their 5-year-old son Teddy. Mallory immediately loves it. She has her own living space, goes out for nightly runs, and has the stability she craves. And she sincerely bonds with Teddy, a sweet shy boy who is never without his sketchbook and pencil. His drawings are the usual fare, the trees, rabbits, balloons, but one day he draws something different, a man in a forest dragging a woman's lifeless body. Then Teddy's artwork becomes increasingly sinister, and his stick figures quickly evolve into lifelike sketches well beyond the ability of any 5-year-old. Mallory begins to wonder if there are glimpses of a long unsolved murder, perhaps relayed by a supernatural force. Knowing just how crazy it all sounds, Mallory nevertheless sets out to decipher the images and save Teddy before it's too late. Yeah. So the sixth book on our February TBR is going to be Pictures by Jason Rekulak. I'm so excited. And the seventh book on our February TBR is, as I said, My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney. We are reading it for my Fable Bookclub, and I'm really, really excited. We usually only read fantasy books, and this is the first time trying a thriller, so hopefully everyone enjoys it. But let's see. Let me tell you the plot of My Husband's Wife. Okay. Eden Fox, an artist on the brink of her big break, sets off for a run before her first exhibition. When she returns to the same house she recently moved into, Spyglass, an enchanting old house in Hope Falls, nothing is as it should be. Her key doesn't fit. A woman eerily similar to her answers the door, and her husband insists that that stranger is his wife. One house, one husband, 2 women, someone is lying. 6 months earlier, a reclusive Londoner called Birdie, reeling from a life changing diagnosis, inherits Spyglass. This unexpected gift from a long lost grandmother brings her to the pretty seaside village of Hope Falls, but then Birdie stumbles upon a shadowy London clinic that claims to be able to predict a person's date of death, including her own. Secrets start to unravel, and as the line between truth and lie blurs, Birdie feels compelled to right some old wrongs. Okay, so the seventh book on our February TBR is going to be My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney. Let's go through all of the books once, and I'll let you go after that. Okay, so the first book was a book that was released this year. For that, I chose The Poet Empress by Shen Tao. It was released on the 20th of January. Then, the second prompt was a book with a person on the cover. For that, I chose Magnolia Park's Into the Dark. Then, the third prompt was um an author whose first or last name starts with an S. For that, I chose Everyone Here Is Lying by Shari Lapina. Then the fourth prompt was a book that I am intimidated. What am I saying? Okay. A book that I'm intimidated to read. For that, I chose Redeeming Six. Then the fifth prompt was a book which is set in London. For that, I chose Clockwork Angel. And the sixth prompt was every book everyone wants me to read. For that, I chose Hidden Pictures by Jason Reculog. And the seventh, my Fable Bookclub pick, is My Husband's Wife. So, I'm really excited to read all of this book. This has been an amazing TBR, and after I finish Magnolia Parks, I am definitely going to be reading My Husband's Wife because I am in such a thriller mood. But yeah, that's all for today's video. Comment the angel emoji to let me know that you watched till the end of the video, and if you want to comment something else, let me know your February TBR. And yeah, that's all for today. I love you all, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.